Knows Best.
Hi, friends, and welcome back to Brenna Knows Best. I'm your host, Brenna Berg. Hi, how are you guys? Happy Friday. I want to say something right out the gate because I didn't realize that obviously you all know that me and Carter got married. Nobody else knows. Nobody on the internet, and I've been making TikToks and I'm saying husband because I'm not a liar. I'm not going to say fiance. I mean, he is technically now my husband. I thought about it and then I'm like, oh, my girls on the podcast are going to call me out that he's not my fiance, but I haven't made like a formal announcement. And every single video, I'm not even talking about Carter, but I'm saying husband, and people are like, husband, what did I miss? And I said, that's on you. And I wanted to bring this up, not because I'm like gonna hold it in front of your face and use it as like a little, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like trump card almost. Like I'm just like literally saying I want everybody here to know that you guys have the sacred information. Like every video I've been saying husband, and people are like, husband, did I miss something? I think you need to explain. I'm like, sorry, not sorry. You have to listen to the podcast. And I just want you guys to feel special. That honestly is so shitty to say. You don't say that to somebody. You guys should feel special. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to make it like exactly how I made it. Anywho, I just wanted you all to know that you guys are my number ones, and I'm like, frick the rest. Like, you guys want an explanation? I don't give a shit. I told it on the podcast. My real ones, no. But anywho, happy Friday. I hope you guys had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. It's so funny because I got on a call yesterday with my best friend, Jillian, my manager, and she was like, did you do anything? I'm like, no. Did you do anything? She's like, no, we're the same person. I feel like, is there a certain age? I feel like it's your upbringing. Like, obviously some people just like their families always did things for the holidays. I don't have that. And oh, we also talked about like Thanksgiving and Christmas. She's like, do you have any traditions or anything? And I'm like, no, I might go home. Which I think that Carter and I will get better at creating traditions. And it's like, if you have a lake house, like I feel Labor Day and Memorial Day weekend, it's like for people who have boats or go out on the lake. And we were home. I built on Labor Day itself the credenza, which isn't a credenza. Did I explain this last week? I don't even know if I had ordered it. No, I didn't. I literally ordered it the day before, but I have explained that Carter brought up the idea behind the couch to do, I don't remember what he called it, but I think it's a credenza. Yes, I think I Googled credenza on this podcast. I was like, that's genius. Well, your credenza should be a half to 2/3 of the wall, or like, because it's behind the couch, not touching the couch, but just behind it, it should roughly be the same size. Well, the longest credenzas I could find were maybe 90 inches, if that. Our wall and our couch, I think the couch is 136 inches. The wall is like 224 to be exact. So even if you did half, it would have to be 112 inches. And I just could not find a credenza that was that long. And also, even if it was that long, how do you get that in your house? Because here's a mistake that I made. Well, I was looking around. I was trying to find a sort of matching wood to the coffee table because I'm really trying to do this interior design. I looked at Carter this week and I'm like, should I go to interior design school? It's not even like a big passion of mine, but I'm so like trying to do the interior design thing correctly. Like, I just really want to have a nice home. I don't know. It's so stupid because anybody's home is a nice home. However you decorate is amazing. And I also do, though, want to add character. And I think I kind of fucked that up because we're doing this green palette. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you I ordered chairs? No. A lot happened this week. I said, Brenna, let's really hone in on this living room. Carter said, do the living room because we want to have people over. And of course, people have already came over. His best friends have come over. Natalie hasn't yet, which I tried to get them over last weekend and they were both out of town. Here's the other problem with our friends. And honestly, it's been making me a little insecure because I'm like, Carter, do we have no friends? All of our friends have other friends. And I think that's the problem. We only have these few friends and these few friends have way more friends. They are all so busy because everybody's our age. We're late 20s, right? Natalie, she's older, 29. Ryan, well, that doesn't matter. His friends are roughly our age. They all have friends getting married, like Natalie and Ryan. Ryan was on a bachelor trip. Natalie was at a wedding. Carter's best friend from work was at a trip in Lake Tahoe, a bachelor trip, and the girl was there. And then his friend was at a college football game at Miami. There's just a lot going on. And that is the other thing. In Texas, everybody is a college football fan, but like everybody except me and Carter went to a legitimate school. Ryan went to Bama. He went to Alabama. Natalie went to Ohio State. Huge football programs. Our couple's friend now from Carter's work, they both went to A&M, right? Huge football team. Like, which is that a big deal? I'm hoping we can get everybody together to go to games, no, to watch games, but they all like have weekend plans watching their games with their friends who cheer on the same team. The fall time and the summertime with weddings and things when you're 28, baby showers, bridal showers, couples showers, like there's too much going on. Anywho, I really want to get our friends together at our house and I want it slightly decorated. Of course, I don't really deeply give a shit, but like I do want a nice home. Here, let's back it up. Over the weekend, I had my sights set on a few things. I wanted to go to Home Goods. I wanted to go out and go decor shopping. There's a neighborhood in Dallas called Knox Henderson, and on Knox, there's CB2, there's Crate and Barrel, there's Restoration Hardware, there's Pottery Barn, there's Anthropologie, there's Not Living Spaces, Room and Board. There's a ton of furniture stores, which they're all a little bit pricey. Like I would prefer to find things at Home Goods, but sometimes it's hit or miss. I wrote down a list in my notebook of things that I needed to get. I needed to get a credenza. I want rugs. I want a kitchen runner. I also wanted a rug for our little entryway. I think there might be another one that I need. Now I need to decorate the credenza, put like a vase and a photo up there. I also am realizing I love mirrors. Like instead of artwork, why don't we just do all mirrors, which in the living room, like I feel mirrors just like open up the room and they're classic and it's just a fucking mirror. And artwork to me, like similar to how it was hard for me to pick a credenza and picking a rug, like I don't know, I need to feel like a deep calling to the thing if it has like some sort of pattern. And artwork, I have no idea how you find that. I literally have no idea. And I also need to figure out how big it should be above the credenza. I haven't even gone there. But what I did do, let's back it up, the chairs. You all know I was wanting to do like an olive green accent swivel chair in the living room. But I really wanted to get two because not OCD, but like the correct, like something about having one accent chair in the living room just like isn't sitting right with me. It just doesn't seem neat and tidy. Like you should have two, right? And I was just stuck on that, and maybe that's just my bad. I've just never seen like one accent chair unless it's like in its own little nook or like at a certain place, but like in the living room, it's like no, have two. The swivel chairs were either tiny, like could fit a child and that's it, or they were too big and I wouldn't be able to fit two. I come across a website called Polly and Bark, Poly and bark, like dog roof bark. It is a furniture store. I'm not sure if they have actual locations, but they really have some cute stuff. I come across, which the reason I got here is because I came across a green swivel chair. I think it was called the Tuzla, Tuzla. I don't know why I'm telling you the names of absolutely everything. Like you're going to Google this, but like I'm kind of hoping that you will. It was this really cool circular swivel green chair that I loved, but it was huge. I said, I can't do that, but I loved this green. It's like a lighter dark green. It's not like a deep, deep olive green. And it's like a distressed velvet, because sometimes velvet can just look tacky to me. Like, I don't know. This chair I'm sitting in is this velvet or is this suede? I think you would call this velvet, but it has this sort of like, what would you call that? Heathering to it? I don't know. Like, this looks good to me, but like an all olive green, like some of the swivel chairs that I was finding that were like this deep velvet, it just kind of looked cheap in my opinion. I don't know. It has to be a certain thing. Well, this distressed velvet I really enjoyed. And I went on to the Polly and Bark website because I was looking at the swivel circular chair. I just clicked on accent chairs and looked up green, and I come across, you would know them if you see them. I think they're like a modern, where it's a square-ish chair. It has a wood. I'm like literally not going to be able to describe this at all. It's like a wood structure, you know, the legs, the arms, the back, and then it has two cushions, one for your butt and one on the back that just sit there. And it's this distressed green, and it's a dark wood, and they're only 25 inches wide, which is much smaller than most accent chairs I was seeing. The nanny family has these two chairs in their living room, which their living room is way different than ours, but they're just a nice like sitting piece. Like, they're not the comfiest, like you're not lounging, but they're just extra seating, which is like what we need. I don't even know if the swivel chairs would have been comfy either, but I really like this. I think they will look great. And the green is spectacular. I ordered them. They come on Saturday. I then went on to Wayfair. I ordered a runner. I came across a rug after searching and searching and searching for the kitchen. And then I was looking for the credenza, and I was looking and looking, and I was trying to match the wood to like the coffee table, but the coffee table is this certain wood that is not as common, I'm finding. But I found these sideboards are what they're called. I think they're 70 inches. No, I don't think. I know. They're 70 inches long. So if I put two of them together, it's 140 inches, which is about half, a little more than half of the wall. And they looked really nice. They're very sleek, very modern. There's this little black strip. Obviously, you have seen them already. I posted them on my story. I ordered them. They're Walker Edison. You can get them on Wayfair, but I found them on Amazon. They literally came, I'm not shitting you. I ordered them Sunday at like 2 p.m. They were at our door Monday, Labor Day, at 10 a.m. I was like, oh my gosh. I moved them from our front door into our garage, and they were so heavy. Carter was working on Monday, even though it was a holiday. He was here. The office was closed. He was at home, but he was upstairs in the office busy. I moved these into the garage, and I'm like, I'm just going to build them because I don't want to make a mess in the living room in our home. I'm out there building these things, which they didn't take me, well, combined, I think maybe they did take me as long as my vanity, but it was way simpler and like not as grueling. It was pretty like copy and paste. Like, it was just multiple screws, multiple of the same thing. And then I built one and the doors weren't shutting. And I said, what the hell is going on? They wouldn't like completely close. And there were a few reviews that I saw that said this was an issue. And I'm like, oh, these people are just idiots. They didn't know how to build it correctly. But I'm understanding why it happened. But like, there's nothing you can do. Therefore, I take a little break because I just finished one. It probably took me 2 hours. I go to Home Depot and get those magnets. You know how cabinets, like the magnets that help them close? I'm like, Home Depot, I looked up, has them for 89 cents. I needed to buy 8 of them because there are 4 doors on each sideboard. I buy 8 for like $7. I then, because it was also Monday and Capital One Cafe does free coffees on Monday until September 22nd. I only have 2 more Mondays left, which is tragic. I drive over there, get myself a coffee, and I come back. And I put on the magnets, which gave me a little bit of issues. Like, they really have to line up and the door, like, oh, I was struggling, and then I got it. And then I asked Carter to help me bring it into the house, but it wouldn't fit through the garage inside door. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you idiot. Therefore, me and Carter have to carry it. We open the garage door and go back out around, right? And I'm sweaty. our garage is obviously, we don't have an air conditioning. It's hot. And Monday specifically, I had a run that morning and it was like 75 degrees. And I was like, oh, this is going to be nice and great and so cool and so crisp. It was 97% humidity. Nearly, and maybe at the time I was running, it was 100%, like almost 100% humidity. I had never sweat. I sweat a lot as is. This was the sweatiest run of my life, and this was that same day. Therefore, the garage was so hot. I was like sweating so bad. I think I took 3 or 4 showers that day because I was disgusting, and it didn't help. I had that huge pimple. That didn't give me the pimple, but it certainly didn't help. I'm like, it was stressing me out. But anyways, me and Carter, we go around, we go through the gate, we go through the front door, and we put it up. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. It looks so good. In my opinion, it looks amazing. One thing I do need to fix is you can see the magnets and they're white because they're very cheap. I need to just get like a paint or a Sharpie and color them a darker color. That way you can't see them because you can see them a tiny bit at the bottom. Again, first world problems. But did that, and then Carter was done working, but he has been busy. On Tuesday, he got home at 7:30 and then he went right to his office. I brought him dinner in his office. I think he came to bed at 9:30. Last night, he didn't get home until 8:15, 8:30, and he was like, I could keep doing work, but I'm exhausted. And he goes into the office at like 7:30. He's been busy. Therefore, Monday, I need to quit saying therefore, but like I get stuck on these words. He came down, but he was kind of brain dead, and I didn't mind. And actually, I've explained this. I would rather build by myself. Like, other people piss me off, and I just would rather fuck up myself or do it myself. Like, it was fine. And I honestly enjoyed Carter's company, even though we weren't really talking. I think he had a football game on and he was on his phone, but he was sitting on the couch, and I brought the second sideboard in. That way we didn't have to carry it around. And that way I was in the air conditioning. I opened the box and all of the styrofoam in the garage, but I brought piece by piece into the house. Carter moved the coffee table, or we moved it. That way I could sit on the rug. And I built the second one there, and that was like so much better. I did the magnets, and then we put it over on the wall, and it looks amazing. But anywho, that was what we did on Monday. Sunday night, Unknown Number on Netflix. Can we talk about it? I made a story, that way you watched it. If you didn't watch it, but you're not really a documentary person, or you don't care for a spoiler, or you don't think that it's fine I talk about it, I'm going to break it down for those who didn't watch it. Spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. This is a documentary that is a true story, obviously, that just came out on Netflix, and I quite literally have not stopped thinking about it since. And I don't know why. I love documentaries, and there are some that I think about every once in a while. I think about that one with the triplet brothers that got split up at birth, that got put into different socioeconomic, like it was a test that they did. And then these boys find out that they have siblings, that they're apart. First, it was the two found out that they were brothers, and then there was a third one. It made like headlines, and then the triplet, the third one, saw the headlines and was like, oh my gosh, I look just like them. And they realized that they were triplets, split up. Their mom gave them up for adoption. That shit was crazy. This documentary, let's get back to it. Unknown Number. They called it the high school catfish, which she wasn't really catfishing, but I digress. Basically, this documentary starts. I apologize for those that watched it, but we're just going to recap for those who haven't. We're in a small town in Michigan, Beale City. There are kids in this documentary that are high schoolers at this point, maybe like 18, but this happened when these kids were like 13 years old. Well, it happened for a few years. It went on. There was one main girl. I don't remember anybody's names because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. There's one girl and there's one boy, and they dated in middle school and into the very first year of high school, roughly, I think 13, 14, 15. They were the golden couple. This is a tiny, tiny town. Let me actually Google, because I don't think they said they have one stoplight, but like I also come from a town of 2,500 people, and I couldn't quite understand. Beale City population. Oh my gosh. 294 people? You're shitting me. This is literally like Leeds, North Dakota. Let me find, is there more information on this? Why did they not say 300 people? Oh my gosh. Tiny town. That's even crazier. That's actually even crazier. I was thinking like 1,000 to 3,000. A town of 300 people. I'm guessing that they go to a school that's co-opted, so it's a bunch of tiny little towns, because that's how North Dakota is as well. They're in a tiny town. This is the golden couple. He plays a sport. She plays a sport. You know, it's a small fucking town. There's like 10 kids in their grade. There's like 30 kids maybe. I think they did say it was like 20 to 30 kids in the class. And for a lot of you who are from a big city and can't even understand that, I do, because my cousin Lauren graduated with 9. Like Leeds, where she lives, is a town of like 400 fucking people. But it's a tiny town. And in October of a certain year, this girl and boy get a random text from a random number that they don't know, harassing them, saying something along the lines of like, basically what it appeared to be is this unknown number was like trying to split them up. They were like bashing the girl. I'm trying to remember that very first text, and they were saying like, I'm gonna be there with, I'm forgetting his name, Carson, and me and Carson are gonna, it was weird. That happened. It kind of just got pushed under the rug, right? Nobody knew the number. And it's a small town. Everybody's friends. Nobody knew. Whatever. It was like a little bit. And then 11 months later, they started again. But they started crazy. Like, to the girl, the young girl who's like 14 years old, they would say things like, "You're anorexic ass," like putting her down, talking about her body and her weight. And then it turned into also like, me and Carson, I'm sorry I'm fucking up the name, but me and Carson are gonna make out and like blah blah blah. And then they were also texting him saying shit about, you have to watch it. I'm not sure how I've been thinking about it, and I can't even read back. Let me look up some of these texts. The texts in unknown number, because they would throw them up on the screen and they were like, these are actual texts. And right away, it was weird. Like, Carter said it right away. He was like, this is what somebody texting a kid who doesn't know how kids text would text. Like, he called it off the bat. He's like, I feel like this is an adult who doesn't really know the lingo, Brenna, because it was really weird. Let me pull up. Okay, what are the names? Lauren Licari. That is the girl. And the boy's name is, I'm not sure. Okay, Owen. Owen is his name. I'm not finding exact text, but like the weirdest shit, like BJs and making out. Me and Carter were dying. Like, it was almost funny. Like, it wasn't funny that it was happening to them, but the texts themselves, it was like, what? And saying crazy things. Well, months and months and months go by, and like everybody in the town knows about it. Like, also, the texter would know about conversations that happened in school. Like, they would bring things up in the messages that like the kids were talking about. So naturally, like, they were trying to figure out, is it like a teacher? It's got to be another student, right? Like somebody who's in the know. So they started questioning like other students and this and that. Like, nobody knows whose number this is or where it's coming from. And they get the police involved. First, you know, the mom of the daughter and the mom of the son go to the principal, and they're like, this is an issue. And like, it's somebody in this school, like they're talking about things, like they're talking about the basketball game, like Owen played or Lauren played, and the person would text Owen and be like, she sucks at basketball, or like, ah, da, 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 like weird shit. But like, they were very clearly in the community. And this goes on and it escalates, and then it becomes like tens of messages a day. Like Owen's receiving like 20, 30, 40 messages, like crazy shit. Sometimes they would respond and sometimes they wouldn't. And they would try and block the number, but then a new one would pop up. And the moms are going to the principal. Well, then they bring in the police, and then they bring in the FBI because it escalated. They were telling this young girl, like, kill yourself. Okay, sorry, trigger warning. Like literally this texter was telling the girl, not so much the boy, but the girl, like, again, calling her names, anorexic, calling her a whore, calling her a slut, telling her to kill herself. This world would be a better place. Like nasty, horrible shit, right? This is like a 15, 16-year-old girl. Horrible. They end up breaking up. This goes on. It's like a span of like 2+ years that this person texts. The first text was in October, and then they didn't reach out until 11 months, but then it persists. Well, they break up, this young couple, these children, right? And he starts dating a new girl from like a town over, somewhere else. The new girl's mom gets texted by this number. Like, he's this. Well, it ends up breaking up, this Owen and his new girlfriend from towns over. But it's like this person clearly has like an infatuation with Owen to then get on the internet and somehow find the mom's number. And of course, the mom has no idea what goes on in this town. And he apologized and is like, this was a thing that happened with my old girlfriend, and this person texts. Like, insane. The FBI gets involved, and they are able to then, do some IT work, and they figure out that the number is attached to some sort of app, but they're able to see what house or what IP location and what phone numbers are pinging this thing. And there's one number every single time throughout the whole thing that keeps coming up. And in the documentary, I'm not doing it justice, they bring in a few characters. Like the start of it, it's like, okay, it could be this girl who like had a crush on Owen. Like it could be this person. Like, oh, well, because like a photo was sent from Owen's family Christmas, they're like, oh my gosh, it's somebody in our family. They bring in like his cousin who's in his grade. And this poor girl, she was so sweet. Like I felt so bad for her. She's like, why would I do this? There's all of these like people you could think that it is. And the parents are in the documentary, like the girl's parents, the mom and the dad, the boy's parents are talking, or maybe just the mom, some of the students' parents. Like there's a bunch of people in this documentary. It comes out that the girl, the main girl, the one that's being told to kill herself, that this world would be a better place, that Owen doesn't deserve her, or she doesn't deserve Owen, her anorexic ass, horrible things, whore, slut, all of these things that were texted to her. It turns out that the number that pinged, the IP address, was her mother. Her mother was the one behind the unknown number that was texting and harassing and threatening her own fucking daughter, her daughter's boyfriend. Mind you, they're 14, 15, 16 years old. The boyfriend's new girlfriend across town. She literally, it was the poor girl's own mother that was doing this for 2 years. What the actual fuck are we even talking about? When I tell you, I've literally never been more shook in my life, because this woman was a part of the documentary and she was talking the whole time. And like, she was a part of the situation. Like they went to the principal, like her and Owen's mom were really close. Again, it's a small town. Their kids dated. Like it's a tiny, tiny town. They were like best friends. They went to the principal. They kept following up. Meanwhile, she's the one that's texting. I'm like, oh my God. clearly, so clearly, she is very mentally ill. Like, that it's not an excuse. I will never believe that's an excuse, but it's like very clear she is deranged. Okay. And in the documentary, the FBI finds out that it's her and that it's pinging, and like they still need to do some more work, but there's the police footage from when they show up at the house, and they show up to their house and she's like at the side of the house, she's outside, and the officer asks her to come inside and that he wants to chat. And Lauren was home. I don't know if this was the summertime or if it was after school or what, but he tells her that they know it's her. He's like, we did this IP thing. It's your number every time. And of course, like right away, like you can tell she's like, holy fuck, I'm caught. And he starts asking, like, were you infatuated with Owen? Like, how did this start? And she like tries to make excuses, blah, 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 blah. Well, then he asks her to get Lauren, or like Lauren to come out. And he didn't explicitly say to Lauren, like, and I imagine, how do you tell this young girl who's been literally harassed horribly for the past over 2 years that it was her mother who's sitting right there? Like, I don't know how you do that either. I'm seeing a lot of conversation online about like the police didn't directly say, like he should have said. And it's like, can you imagine telling a 16, 17-year-old girl that that was her mom who's sitting right there? He like kind of, you know, was like, hey, like he was trying to break it to her without explicitly saying it. But the mom, oh, this was the most infuriating part. The mom kept hugging her and touching her. They're like sitting on these bar stools, and like the cop is trying to tell the daughter, and the mom keeps like hanging on the girl. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, she's like, did she even apologize? I don't even know if she did. She's like kissing her head. She's like touching her arm. And this young girl, like, it's her mom. And like, I don't think, number one, she's processing, and like, or she is, and it's kind of like hitting her, but like, her mom's like hanging on her. She doesn't like push her away or anything. It's just like was this uncomfortable. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my literal God. Right. Well, then they need to call the husband. He's at work. And basically they also find out this woman hasn't been working for like over a year. She like claimed to everybody and her husband that she was working at a job. And there's a lot of things now that like weren't adding up. They had moved like 4 different times because financial reasons, which she was the one running the finances. She would tell her husband like something was wrong, like the house got struck by lightning. They would do a claim, like all of this weird fucking stuff. But essentially, she hasn't been working for over the past year, which is why she's been able to text all day. Her husband didn't know. I'm like, how do you not know? How do you not know? Like, do you have separate bank? Like, how do you not see the income coming in? But I think he just like didn't even look. I don't really know where she had like the manipulation, like, oh, it's covered, like she's taking care of it. I have no idea. But the police officers call him, I believe, and they're like, can you come home? Like, they roughly explain the situation. They're like, we found out that it's been your wife, and also she has not been working for the past year, and this is obviously this man's first time hearing, number one, all of these things. And of course he comes home immediately, and like this is all on the police footage. He comes home and he's like not fuming, like he's clearly very upset, but he's like keeping his cool, and he's like, you need to leave. And she's like, I can't, like my daughter. You clearly don't give an actual fucking shit about your daughter. You were telling her to kill herself. Oh my, like how, oh my gosh. And he's like confronting her about not working, and she's like, he ends up, and like honestly, my favorite character of this whole thing was the dad. He was phenomenal. He's like, get the fuck away from our daughter. He asked her, the mom, to call her parents to have them come get her. He's like, you're not staying here, because the police weren't detaining her yet, because I don't think they quite, like, they were coming to do a sweep of the house to get her technology to verify, but they hadn't quite like gotten all of the proof, but they had a search warrant. And this is another thing. She gave them her phone, and the dad comes home and the police were like, yep, we asked for technology and we have her phone. And he's like, do you have all of them? Like, she has multiple. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why does she have multiple phones? But it also turns out she worked in IT. Like, when she did work, if she ever did work, like, she was in IT. And thank God for him. They're like, no, she only gave us one phone. She has to go outside to the side of the house where she was when they pulled up. She left one of the phones out there. And that's where, you know, of course she's hiding it from everybody that she's the one doing this texting. That's the phone that all of the shit was on, I'm guessing. And gives him that, or gives the police that, gives the laptop, and she won't call her parents. She's like, no, I'm not leaving my daughter. And he's like, absolutely not. Honestly, the dad like is everything that a dad should be. He's like, okay, well then I'm calling them. He goes and he calls her parents and he tells them, you need to come pick up your daughter right now. And they come. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we don't see that part, but I'm like, good, get that woman away from your daughter immediately. Like, oh my gosh, like, this is exactly the type of man that every girl should have as a dad. Like, he was incredible. And basically she gets charged. And I'm trying to remember felony stalking, because like there were a million other things. Like, I feel like she should be a registered sex offender. Like, the things she was saying, like, she was saying stuff about like blowjobs and sex and like making, it was like so wildly inappropriate. Like, I'm telling you, if you haven't watched it, watch it. But there are so many things. And like, again, we're seeing her in this documentary. She ends up going to jail for, I think her sentencing was 1.5 years. Maybe she was only in there for a year. She was emailing her daughter during it. And of course, like, this poor girl is so fucking confused. She obviously now knows that that was her mother doing it, but she has this like actual relationship with her mom. Like, of course, because her mom was always there to console her about these texts. Like, it's this whole fucked up web. And the daughter is like emailing her mom, which, like, I'm not gonna blame the daughter. She's like she's like literally not even an adult yet, and I don't even consider 18 an adult. Like, she's a young girl who like needs a lot of therapy thanks to her mother. Her mother needs to be in an actual psychiatric ward because they're interviewing her. So it goes along this whole thing, and then she gets sentenced, and then we're actually talking to her about it, and she is literally so delusional and so out of her goddamn mind. I have a few questions in my notes app. Number one, was she in love with the boy? Like, they didn't really touch on that, and I need to know more about that. Like, she had to have, like, she did have an infatuation with this boy, but I want some more clarification. When she said, we've all broken the law at one point and haven't gotten caught, it's like drinking and driving. How many people drink and drive and don't get caught? She was comparing what she did. And also, number one, no, not all of us do break the law. I don't think that I've broken the law. Number one. Number two, you're comparing harassing, bullying, telling these children to kill themselves to your own daughter. You're comparing drinking and driving, which drinking is driving and driving is horrible. Do not get me wrong. However, these are not the same. She literally made that comparison. Number three, why would she agree to do the documentary in the first place? Like, after it came out, Carter was like, why is she doing this? Like, why would you ever? Like, again, it just shows how like deranged she is. Like, if you did all of this, like, why the fuck would you agree to do this Netflix documentary? I don't know. Number four, how do you not know that your wife isn't working? That part gets me, and I know that this happens in marriage a lot. Didn't I do a story once where there was a guy who his girlfriend had lied about being in nursing school, and like the graduation was coming up, and it turns out she hadn't been, but she'd been lying for like over a year? Like, I just cannot. Is there no signs? Like, how did this man, you must not communicate at all. Like, there's so many ways that you would know that she wasn't working or could maybe suspect. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. I pray to God I never find myself in this marriage with Carter, like, not knowing anything about his life. Like, I understand that we're going to get into a routine. We're going to have kids, but like, and obviously that's like a crazy thing to do. Like, she's a pathological liar, but like, I think this happens a lot. I know I've spoken about this before, the couple where the woman was never in on the finances. He gave her an allowance or like a credit card, and it turns out they have 6 kids together. They're in like great financial debt. She had no fucking idea because she never saw the finances. Like, how is that even happening? Like, you can never, if I can give one tip to women, talk to your partners about everything and be involved in everything, even if it's not your wheelhouse. Like, always have your finger on the pulse. Like, always have these conversations. Like, if you hate finances and you don't want to deal with it, that's fine, but like, have the accounts, have the passwords, like, ask the questions, know everything, because this poor man, and like, they had moved 4 times and their finances were so bad, they were like in debt because she was the one doing it. It's like, oh my gosh. Also, number 5, she said when the producers asked her, like, you know, when you told your daughter to kill herself, like, did you think that she would do it? And she said, no, I knew that she wouldn't do it, which is like why she felt okay saying it. I'm sorry. What? Like, I'm literally so sorry. What? Because a young 15-year-old being harassed like this, being bullied, okay, getting told to kill yourself, and like, she lost her boyfriend, right? She feels like, oh my gosh, she easily could have. And I would go as far to say, in my personal opinion, this is so fucked up, but like, I feel that the mom, not that she would be happy, but there was a cousin or something that said she loved attention, and clearly, like, this, whatever this was, well, she said in the interview, and I think I wrote this down, she said that those texts like were an escape for her. Like, she was a different person. Like, she clearly enjoyed it. Like, if she said it was an escape for her, like, that means you liked it. She liked whatever that gave her. I think it was attention. Like, I don't know. And I think what it also did was she would harass and bully her daughter, and then her daughter would come home and they would talk about it and cry about it, and she would console her daughter. Like, I think she needed that attention. Like, that's kind of what kept her going. But I also would take it a step further, and if her daughter did do what she was telling her to do, she would like that attention that her daughter, you know what I'm saying? I know that's so fucked up, but like, this woman is clearly out of her mind. Like, you don't say that to anybody. Like, that's what I can't even, like, you don't do this in general. Kids don't even do this to other kids. Like, this is a horrible thing to do, to cyber bully and stalk and attack in general anybody, but a grown woman to her own daughter, like, that's where I'm just like, really, what the fuck? Those are my thoughts. If you didn't watch it, go ahead. If you did, I hope that you enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't. I like, oh my gosh. And to see her in the interview after you find out, like, she's like, she literally, you guys, that part where she was like laughing, crying, she's like, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy. No, fuck, but like, what? Are you literally out of your mind? Oh my gosh. Lauren needs to be far away from her, and it sucks because that's her mom. But the trauma she did to her, and like, I don't think this woman is capable. Like, she needs like literal psychiatric help. Like, I don't even know if this person can be a normal person again. I don't know if she's ever been a normal person, right? Like, oh, that was so bad. That took up a lot of my brain power this week. Let's keep moving. Things that happened. I went to the Social Security office to get my new Social Security card with my new name. Holy shit. I did go onto the website and it said to book an appointment, and I said, I'm not calling this office. If it's anything like the DMV or a government office, I'm just going to show up. And if I have to wait a little bit, I would rather be in person and be there than sit on the phone with these people and be put on hold and blah, 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 blah. I pull up on Friday morning. It opens at 9 a.m. I drop Carter off at work and I get there at 8:45. There is already a huge line out the door. Not even out, at the door, because the doors aren't opening until 9. I get up, I go in line, I bring my little Stanley cup, I have my paperwork, I have the marriage license, I have my ID, my passport, everything just in case. And a man and a security guard, an armed guard, come out and they start going down the line and they start splitting the line, but they're asking everybody a question. He gets up to me and he's like, "Do you have an appointment?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, and I heard him say this to the people in front of me, and he's like very clearly on edge, but I get it. Every single day he does this. This is his job. And I bet people give him so much shit. I bet people are pissed. You know, at the DMV, like, I get it. It's frustrating to deal with, but like, I would never, ever treat an employee at a place like this, like, horribly. It's not their fault. Like, of course, some of the processes are horrible. Again, not their fault. They're just doing their job. But of course, people aren't like me and people are mean. And I'm sure this guy gets yelled at all day, every single day. So he's like very harsh and very blunt. He's like, "Do you have an appointment?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, you don't have an appointment. We might not be able to see you. Please step in this line." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." He keeps going down the line, and like a little bit before 10, even before that, he starts screaming. He starts yelling. He's like, "Okay." Like, he went through the whole line and he's like, "If you don't have an appointment, you need to make an appointment. We have appointments starting at 9:30. You're going to walk in this door. You're going to get a ticket. We're going to see as many people as we can. And if you don't get seen before 9:30, you have to leave and go book an appointment. I don't want to hear you complain. You should have done that." Like, blah, 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 blah. Like, he was like clearly very like hasty, which again, every single day he's doing this, dealing with people. I get it. But it was like a little crazy. It's like, oh, you're already like setting off bad vibes, right? And then he said it in Spanish, and then they let everybody in. They walk us in, file, okay, whatever. They give us all a ticket. You go sit like the DMV in a little area, and boom, at 9 o'clock, 800, 801, 802. I'm 8:28. I'm like, "Oh my God, okay." Like, I'm sitting here, whatever. If I don't, I'll call and make an appointment. But like, again, it's 30 minutes of my time. I will say, once it got moving, like the vibes were scary, but they had this shit on lock. Like, if he said your number, like 802, and you weren't on your feet in 3 seconds, he's like, "Are you here?" Like, 802. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I'm not kidding. So they go down the line and it's like 9:20 and they're at about 8:20, but there were a few times where they would call numbers and then they would go 8:20, 8:21, 8:23. Like, it seemed like a bunch would open up and they would go. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm gonna make it, like, based on how much we've gotten through. So as soon as he got to 8:20, I'm 8:28, I put my phone down. I'm sitting there like on alert, like literally fingers to my forehead, like ready to serve the goddamn army. I'm like, "Oh." So the second he said 8:28, I'm like on my feet and I'm running to the booth. I go up to the booth. I put my paperwork down. I had my regular copy that I did at home, the paper copy, which that was another thing. People came in and they had these documents on a table. Some people like hadn't even filled them out. He's like, "Go fill it out. If you don't have it filled out." And of course, a ton of people, and there's like people that don't speak English. And I'm like, oh, these poor people just getting yelled at. I did the paper copy, and then when I was sitting there, I did the virtual online copy. They had a QR code. I'm like, I'm not fucking this up. I'm not making anybody's day worse. So I get up to the thing. I'm like, there's a paper copy and there's also an online copy, whatever's best for you. She does the paperwork. She's like, "Do you verify that all of this is correct?" Boom, 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 boom. I'm out of there. It's free. It's actually free, which I was shocked that they didn't do some sort of fee. I'm going to get a new social security card in the mail in 2 weeks, and then I can get a new passport and a DMV. And or a license. I booked my DMV appointment for the Monday after my race in Minneapolis, because even though, well, number one, the very first time I did the DMV in Texas, I was there. You guys brace yourselves. Okay, guess the amount of time I didn't book an appointment, which I had no idea that this was going to be the way it was. And even if I would have booked an appointment, it would have been horrible, because I'm going to tell you, guess how long I was at the DMV. Guess. 1 hour? Wrong. 2 hours? Wrong. 3 hours? 4 hours? No. 5? 6 hours. I was at the DMV when I got my license in Dallas the first time. 6 hours. I get there. Okay. And again, this place is crazy. I have all the paperwork. I did end up needing something else, but they had printers there, and I grab my ticket and I sit there. And I didn't know that appointments were even a thing because I come from North Dakota and like that's not a thing. I didn't really know. I, again, was brand new to Texas. I had to get a Texas ID because I was taking the real estate exam in like a month or two, and you need a Texas ID to take the Texas real estate exam. And I go sit down, and like shortly after I sit down, their system went blank. Their online, like their IT system, gonzo. And everybody's yelling, and everybody's like, they're like trying to explain, it's out, it's out, it's out. Like they're like, we don't know when it's going to be back up. It could be in 5 minutes. It could be in 5 hours. And I sat there, and they had to give out tickets because the system was out. There was somebody calling out, or they were calling out the numbers orally. Once the system came back up, like 3 hours later, I sat there on my phone. My phone died. Okay. I was next to, I remember this Hispanic woman, and there were a lot of people in here that don't speak English. I'm sure they were getting like their green cards. Like, I don't know what you can all do at the DMV. But there was a lot of that. And like that, again, people are frustrated. Of course, everybody that works there is bilingual, but like, I remember sitting there and they started orally calling out numbers and trying to like split us up and so on and so forth. And this old Hispanic woman was next to me, and somebody was next to her, and they were calling out the numbers, and I could tell immediately like she did not know the numbers at all. And I looked at her and I'm like, do you? And she's like, we're like trying to speak again via body language. And so she and the person next to her turned their tickets over so I could see them, and then I could tell that hers was coming up. I was like, 1 second. And like the person was calling out the numbers and so on. And then they called out her number. And I'm like, that's you. And I pointed at her, and she like bowed her head and like said, thank you, via not saying thank you. Maybe she said gracias. I don't know. And she went up, and then it was like an older gentleman who was next to her, and he was shortly after. And I'm like, okay. And like, I helped him go, and they were like both so grateful, but I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'd been sitting there for 3 hours. I'm like, no, honestly, this was like the most excitement of my whole day. And finally I get put into this group. Again, I sit for like another hour, and then I get called, but like the process had just come up and it was so slow. So then I sat at the booth itself for so long because it was like it was a thing. It was a moment at the DMV, but then they snapped my photo and gave me my ID. Well, it got sent in the mail. And anywho, I told myself, and I knew from then on that I would never do that again. And thankfully at that time, I think I had just finished my internship and I was working at Equinox. I had the whole day off. But anywho, that was that. I set up my DMV appointment for the Monday after the race because I'm obviously traveling, and they take your ID and you get this paperwork. And I don't want to have an issue with the TSA at the airport with my new name, but not having my ID and so on. And I'm sure you could use your passport, but like, I'm not fucking messing with that. I booked it for October 6th. I'm going to go in, and I'll do the passport before that because I think I can mail that in and I don't need that right away. But that is that. I also, I went to Home Goods. I was explaining this. I knew that I wanted to get soap dispensers for our guest bathroom. So I got 3 glass, all different, but like nice soap dispensers. I walked around. This was Sunday, I believe. I think Carter, or maybe it was Saturday. Carter was watching football. Yes, it was like the first college football game. I'm like, I'm leaving. I want to go walk. I want to go shop. It was pouring rain, flash flood. I go to get a coffee before I start shopping. It took me 40 minutes to get this coffee in the drive-thru. It was Dutch Bros, and the people came out. They do it kind of like Chick-fil-A where like people stand outside and take your order. I don't know what you call that. I never experienced that before, but they come out, you guys, in like these clear like tents. Like they were, oh my gosh, honestly, they should get employees of the year. They had like these huge square like tarps over them. That way they could go car to car and take orders, and there were so many people in line. And I'm like, honestly, what the fuck is wrong with all of us? It is pouring rain and we're all here just like wanting to get a coffee. I would have left if I didn't get stuck in there. Like, I honestly felt so bad. Like, they came up and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And like, literally this girl, she has this huge tarp, like square thing, and she's leaning over to like help not get rain in my car. I'm like, oh my gosh, sweet girl, like, don't even worry about it. Thank you so much. I'm like, literally, you guys deserve. I gave them like as much as my coffee was a tip. I'm like, I felt so bad. I get my coffee finally 40 minutes later. And at this point, I'm like, Brenna, I like can leave the house for a little bit. I'm like, is this going to be pointless? I go to West Elm and then I go to Home Goods and I get the soap dispensers. And then I also get two rugs. I got two small rugs. I had taken some dimensions before I left, and honestly, I wasn't sure if they were going to work, but they were both these small Ralph Lauren rugs that were gorgeous. Like, some rugs just like look so cheap, and so like I hate the like printed on looking rug look. Like, if you go to Home Goods, you'll know, like, some of them are thin and it looks just like printed on because it is printed on. I just was not vibing with that. Some of them were too plush. I'm like, I don't really like that. But I found these two Ralph Lauren rugs and I love them. And I'm like, I'm going to find a place for them. The blue one I put on my story. I put in the bathroom, which I love. I think it's Gorgina. It's really the only place. I tried to put it in other places, but it was too small. It fits perfect in there, which I measured and I know it's kind of weird to put a rug in the bathroom, but it's a powder bath and whatever. And then the other rug was like a 3x4 or a 2x4, I think. And it goes perfectly in our little entry from the garage where the shoe cabinet is. It's this purple little rug. I love it. I'm obsessed. It's amazing. I tried to look at like the big rugs. I also am trying to find an end table for the couch that's like the same level as the couch. I couldn't really find one that I liked. I bopped around forever. I found some artwork that was cool, but I still wasn't sure. And that was that. Then I went to Hobby Lobby and I got a tiny little, I was looking up on Pinterest ideas for the powder bath, like how to just kind of make it cute. And I knew that blue rug was going to go in there. I tried to find like a matching blue hand towel. I couldn't find it. I'm still on the hunt for that. But I want the soap dispenser to sit on something. So I found this tiny little wood thing. It was like $4 at Hobby Lobby that I put a soap dispenser and a candle on. And it just like looks cute and nice and dandy. And I'm loving that. I just need a hand towel and maybe an art piece in there. I'm not really sure, but I love it. Now, things that I want to buy, everything that I just mentioned, obviously home stuff. I keep going back and forth. I've been like shopping online, like looking at clothes and then looking at home decor, and I can't really do both. But the clothes situation that I want, I really think I'm finally coming around to the idea of wearing brown. It scared me for a while. I know it's been trending. I want to get number one leggings and like one of those teddy sort of vests and get it in brown. I think that would be so cute. That's what I want. And then I also saw that Zara has these brown wide leg jeans. I think I'm going to order and try. I'm thinking that like brown, I'm going to start wearing it. I know that it shouldn't be that scary, but for whatever reason, I've been terrified to wear it. I'm hoping that it looks good on me. One of my very best friends, Elisa, I remember shopping with her a long time ago. She's like, bitch, you look so good in brown. And I'm like, I don't know, brown? For whatever reason, I'm just like dirt, but I'm now there. But this is what happens to me is when I finally, which I don't think it's a trend per se, but kind of, you know how colors go in and out, like butter yellow is a thing. Like I'm always so late. Like I remember in high school, combat boots were a thing. And I was like, that's the ugliest bullshit I've ever seen. Well, I finally wrapped my head around it and then they were out. Like, am I going to start wearing brown? And then now it's navy, which again, all of these colors are always in and you can wear whatever you want. But like, it always just like takes me quite a while to get used to something, but I think I'm ready. I actually found, I was looking up brown vest on Google last night and Vuori, which it's expensive, but they have like this really cute cropped brown teddy vest. I might have to go in store and check it out. Anywho, we also picked our health insurance plans this week. You guys are probably like, boring, but this is real life stuff. And also, like, the name change, I wish I would have known more about all of this stuff before, and therefore maybe I'm helpful. Please tell me I'm helpful. We went through Carter's health insurance. We had to just like pick amounts, and I don't really know. We got dental because things that I'm hyperfixating on. Let's move right on into that category. I obviously had the tooth infection. It's better now because I took an antibiotic, amoxicillin to be exact, but we're about to have a dental plan. Obviously, I haven't been to the dentist in a while. I might have been paying for dental, but it probably was so bad. Again, with like the free market healthcare, it's great that it's there and you have it, but depending on how much you pay, I just have not prioritized it, but I will. Like, taking care of your teeth is so important. Like, so important. I floss, I brush. Like, I think everything should be fine. I'm going to do a checkup, but then I'm going to ask, and I already decided I'm going to get my wisdom teeth removed. It needs to happen. I'm sure I explained this, but I have that flap where they're like partially out, and I was doing a bunch of research, and it freaks me out because I've never been under anesthesia, but I think it'll be easy and wonderful. And I'm hoping that I'm not sure if I'm going to need an oral surgeon. I don't know exactly the technicalities. I'm sure they could either refer me to somebody or if the dentist can do it, but I'm gonna, once we have the dental, get in for an appointment, and then I'll definitely be getting wisdom teeth removal surgery. I looked up, and the last time I had this issue, it was the first time, but it was the end of the year 2023, therefore like less than 2 years ago. And this is something I don't want to keep having. And you also, it's already pretty late to be getting your wisdom teeth removed. It's just like as you get older and have health complications. And the thing that is really bothersome is that when you get older, your nerves start to wrap around your teeth, or they're just like more grown out or something, and they can become a problem to remove the wisdom teeth. And people have gotten nerve damage because when you're a kid or you're younger, they're not quite grown in, and that's not really an issue. But as you get older, they grow or something, or wrap around the tooth. I'm not really sure, but I'd rather just get it taken care of and get it done with. And therefore, we have a wisdom tooth surgery to look forward to. I also was on TikTok a second before this, and I didn't really deep dive, but do you guys know who Becca Bloom is? She's that girl on TikTok who is literally so wealthy, filthy rich. Her family and her. She sounds very intelligent, and I think she has an IT job of sorts. Like, I think she does very well for herself, but clearly her parents and her now husband, but she was engaged, I think, when she started making TikToks, but I literally just came across on my For You page her wedding. It is giving the same vibes as that one girl who had the wedding, and then it came out later that her husband was on trial for like wielding a weapon, a gun at a police officer, and he was going to jail. Do you guys remember that girl? Oh my gosh, that was like the craziest thing that had happened on social media in so long. But it's giving those vibes. Like, the wedding was insane. Those videos, like, that was the craziest shit I'd ever seen. They obviously had so much money, but Becca Bloom, like, I just briefly started scrolling. I didn't even know she was getting married. Like, I don't follow along that closely. I'll get a video. I actually haven't seen her that much recently. I was going to say frequently, but I did a deep dive a long time ago because like the stuff she says and does, like, their chef, and she has like all of the Hermes, and she really seems like a sweet person. Like, I know people feel a type of way about rich people, but she seems very sweet and very smart and so on and so forth. But this wedding, they did it in Lake Como. I think from what I gathered, what I just saw, I'm going to have to do a deep dive, and maybe we'll discuss more next week. Things that I'm pissed off about. Number one, when you guys are listening to this on Friday, I have an 8.5 mile run this morning. I don't think that I signed up for that anywhere. I'm not sure where I put in my training plan that I would want to run 8.5 miles. And honestly, shame on me. I typically don't look ahead at my running schedule for the week. I just wake up the morning of, but this week I did, and I shouldn't have. Pray for me. And also, I woke up this morning and I go on to my Discover And I have a charge from care.com. If you know what care.com is, it's basically like a babysitter app. I used it to find a person to replace me for the nanny fam. I had a charge because I was on some annual subscription. It was only $20, but I'm like, what the fuck? This morning at 6 a.m., I'm like, that pissed me off. But honestly, other than that, I'm not really mad about anything this week. Books. I started Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm loving it. I love her style of writing. I know she's not for everybody, which is fine. No books are for everybody. A lot of people like Emily Henry. Emily Henry is just like not really my cup of tea. But again, we all have different preferences. I'm loving it. And now I have one question, I believe. Oh, now there is two. Let's answer these and then I'll let you guys go. Hey Brenna, love your pod. I look forward to them for my drive to and from work weekly. So I think I fucked up. I lost a great man who was really good to me, who showed me real love and support, and he treated me like a queen. Long story short, I made an anonymous post back when we first started talking on a Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group. I had forgotten about the post since there was no response on it, which is a great sign, by the way. But I fast forward to this last month, his ex, in parentheses, baby mama, found it and confronted him about it. Why the fuck would she bring that up to him? That's weird, but let me keep going. He has now broken up with me. I'm trying to get over him and the whole situation. Like, he was hurt and embarrassed that I had posted this, which I can totally understand why. I had broken his trust since it showed that I wasn't genuine and didn't fully trust him when we had first started talking. Online dating has been rough for me. But his baby mama had to do some real digging on this very active Facebook group to find this, since it was posted at the beginning of the year. I don't know what to do. I'm kind of lost right now. Other than this situation, our relationship has been really amazing and building towards a nice future together. We were dating intentionally and we're very connected to each other. I want to rebuild his trust, I guess. I'm not sure what to do. Well, are you guys broken up or not? Number one, fuck her. Because why would that even be her place in the first place? Right? Like, why would she? What does she gain from that? And why is that any of her business? And she would know and see if she found that, which she might have just been digging for it. But number two, it was from the beginning of the year. Like, if I saw that, it's like, yep, they just started dating, which I'm sure she knows. If they're, co-parenting, which this is, does he have boundaries with this said baby mama? Because I feel like that's crazy. And why is that any of her business? And I don't like that. Number two, I don't like that he broke up with you over that, because it doesn't show that you didn't trust him. Like, this is a normal thing that people do nowadays to see, I guess. I will say the Are We Dating the Same Guy? I would never post in there because that is a fucking crazy place. But I think some towns are different. But that's a normal thing. People do this. That's what the T app is. Where girls can confirm and see. It has nothing to do with him. You were dating. You've had bad experiences in the past. I don't think that's wrong. I think you're saying that because he's making you feel like, how would you trust him when you guys first started dating? How would you know? You were just trying to verify to save yourself, to spare yourself. I don't think I understand it would be if Carter, I learned that he had posted me. But again, if it was right when you started dating, yeah, it's nobody wants to be posted on a social media. I get that. I totally get that. I don't know. But he broke up with you. And also number one, get in check with the baby mama. What the fuck is going on there? That needs to be figured out, because I would not want, why would she even feel the place or feel comfortable doing that? And she obviously knows who you are. You guys have been dating probably for a year. Well, she obviously knows who you are if she found that. That's weird. And that's a separate issue that I would want taken care of and figured out. But number two, are you guys talking? What's the situation? You're asking me what to do, but he broke up with you. I mean, I would just explain, if you guys are still talking, just be I didn't know. I've been burned in the past. It was right when we started dating. There's nothing else you can do. But like, if your guys' relationship was really good, I don't know how he would just up and break up with you like that. Like, that to me is not a good sign. Keep us posted. Those are my original thoughts. Now we have another one. Hi, love you so much. I've been here since the beginning. So I work at a restaurant and started dating one of the cooks. My first mistake, I know. Long story short, everything was going perfect. He made me feel loved, respected, validated, all of the above. Last Monday, I was home and someone knocked on my door. It was his ex-girlfriend. Rewind to the prior week, he got super drunk on a Thursday and went to her house and slept with her. Girl, what the fuck? She came to my house to inform me, and I respect her greatly for telling me. I know I shouldn't get back with him. The trust is broken. I'm torn because he says he was blacked out. No. And doesn't remember anything, which I do believe. I don't give a fucking shit. But he still had sex with her and cheated on me. Yes. Emphasize, exclamation. I believe in my heart he would never do it again, but I know I can't be with him. Whoever my husband is supposed to be would never cheat on me. Basically, I just need to be validated by the relationship queen herself. Love you, Brenna. Do not take him back. I don't care if he was blackout. I don't give a shit, because whether you're blackout or not, the fact that he texted and went and like, that to me is weird, because like, exes should be a hard no. Like, your future husband will have no communication with the ex, except if, again, like the last story, baby mama, whatever, but like on that level, like that needs to be cut and dry. Like, the fact that happened, why would he, when he's blackout, not want to come home to you and have sex with you? Right? Like, not to like, that has nothing to do with you, but like, I don't care how blackout you are. Like, that wouldn't happen. That just like straight up would never happen. This is a shitty dude. No shade, no tea. I know you loved him. I know he was kind to you, but like, cheating is a no turn back to me, like ever, because number one, even though you're saying you think you would never do it again, you have no idea. Number one, it will happen again, I think. But number two, like, there will always now be doubt in your heart. And that is the other thing. Your future husband would never cheat on you. Do you want to marry a man and know that he cheated in the past? Like, ew, like, it just, you guys all know, like, when things are bad in the beginning, like, I don't like that. And not that I believe in some fantasy story. And of course, like, there are little kinks and things, but cheating, like, that just like muddies everything, and it's gross. And like, who wants to be with a man who cheats? Nobody, especially in your own relationship. Hello? No, that is the ultimate sign of disrespect. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Like, I would never support that relationship for you. If you want my honest opinion, like, if I had a friend and I knew that man got blocked out and cheated on her, nope. Like, I'm forever disgusted. I just like would never support that, because it's not okay. And there are so many men on this planet, and you deserve the absolute world. And like, your husband would never do that. No doubt in my mind, your husband would never do that. And I think once you go through the breakup, you'll start to see, like, we all think our relationship is so good right when you're out of it or something happens, but give it a month or two and you'll be like, oh yeah, that guy wasn't the best for me. There you go. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for listening. As always, I hope you guys have the best weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Okay, bye guys.